Much. Ripping, burning, uploading and downloading. It all sounds rather strange, to me anyway, but don't worry, apparently it's really quite simple. It's the language of a new generation of music lovers. Rather than going out and buying a CD, you can log onto the internet and download tracks from your favourite artists.
Well, how does it work? Well, someone somewhere offers their tracks up onto the internet, and if you've got the right software, you can then download them. That's simple. The problem is that unless you pay, it's illegal, and from today the music industry plans to track down and prosecute those who are illegally uploading.
There's now no shortage of websites that want to sell you music through your computer. The problem is, millions of people are used to getting it for free by swapping it over the internet, which is illegal. Well, today, the British music industry says it's had enough and it's going to start suing people. But will it work? Well, at this gig in London last night, there were plenty of people willing to pay to see a band play live. They're happy to stand in the cold and queue for long hours, but when it comes to buying music, well, it seems to be a different question altogether. They were very sceptical about how many people would be put off illegal downloading.
The idea of getting caught is probably the chance of winning the lottery. I think it would have only a very small effect. Some people might get a bit scared about doing it, but I think the larger majority of people would just ignore what's going on.
No, I don't think it's going to stop anyone. As long as you've got a PC, you can get it from anywhere.
I think it'll put people off, and I think there's just so many people are just so used to downloading their music now. The thought of paying for a CD is sort of like, oh no, why?
There are some people, some kids that have probably never bought a CD. They started downloading when they're 11, 12 and have never bought a CD, it's going to be a problem for the BPI to turn those around, because obviously it's not something that they've done before, so getting them into buying CDs is going to be difficult, but there's still no excuse for downloading music illegally.
And around the world there have already been more than 3,000 cases against illegal file sharers, but compare that with the numbers downloading songs illegally. In Britain alone, the BPI thinks the figure stands at more than 7 million people. David Silito, BBC News.
Well, to discuss the issue further, joining us now are Matt Phillips from the Music Industry Association, the BPI, and Tom Dunmore from the magazine Rip and Burn. Very good morning to you both. If we could start with you, Matt, this is an interesting business proposition, isn't it? Prosecuting your customers.
Well, that's probably the most common misconception, is that we're actually prosecuting our customers. What we're not doing is prosecuting our customers. What we are doing is we're giving our customers, music fans, a very real opportunity to download music legally from the net. There's already over 1 million tracks available to download legally in the UK from a variety of new services. What we're doing for our customers is safeguarding the future of music.
But you say you're not prosecuting them. In the United States, a 12-year-old girl's been prosecuted for illegally uploading.
Yes, there's a big difference there. What we're talking about is we're primarily trying to target what we call major uploaders. These are people that are not sort of file sharing 1 or 2 files here. We are talking about people that are offering hundreds and sometimes even thousands of files on the internet for people to share illegally, and it just completely undermines the music industry's investment in new talent. We need it to continue, so we must take a stand and stop this illegal uploading.
Yeah, so we understand the principle of it. Tom, though, I mean, as we were just hearing there, as we saw in the report, there are some people, the younger generation particularly, who've never ever bought a CD. You've got to turn around a whole attitude.
Yeah, but it's not just about buying CDs. There are plenty of places to go out and buy downloads, and in fact there's plenty of places so you can get legal free downloads to sample music. It's just not that easy to find them necessarily without using the simple sort of peer-to-peer software.
Okay, really sorry. You can go and buy a download. What does that mean?
Well, you can go and legally download songs, but you actually have to pay for them. So right. There's the Apple service and Napster, a number of stores, essentially online music stores. So rather than converting people back to an old technology of buying CDs, what you say is actually, this stuff you can get some of these free, sample the music, but ultimately, if you like it, you're going to have to go and buy it.
But is this, I mean, the threat of prosecution is there. Is this too much stick and not enough carrot?
Yeah,
what about cutting prices or something?
I totally agree. I mean, I do think that that music fans are going to get sued. I do believe the BPI is suing its own consumers. If you have a large file of MP3s, whether they're legal or not, as soon as you launch your peer-to-peer software, they're going to be available to be shared. So it's actually, when they say it's serial uploaders, well, it's actually the people with the biggest music collections, the biggest music fans. However, I do think that there's a logic behind getting that generation who is used to getting music for free to move over. But there are other ways of doing it. As you say, cutting prices, I think is key.
Response then from Matt.
No, I don't think that cutting prices is a solution to people stealing it. You know, I can't afford a Mercedes, but I'm not going to steal it just because I can't afford it. I think it's ridiculous. What we have done is we've put very good legal alternatives in place. We've also, if you look at the price of music now, it's very good value for money. Nearly all CDs retail for under £10 now, about 60% of them do in fact, and the legal services offer you very good quality downloads for very reasonable prices. So the choice is there. There's no excuse for illegal file sharing anymore.
The reality though of prosecution, we were just hearing again in that report, 3,000 people prosecuted so far of a pool of something like 7 million. Are you just relying then on a couple of test cases that will turn the tide?
Not at all. We believe that what we're trying to do here is we're trying to deter the people that are uploading. About 75% of the music that's available illegally on the internet is uploaded by a 15% minority. It's very important that we tell that 15% minority that what they're doing is illegal, and we're trying our best to deter them. We believe that by sending out this message that file sharing is illegal and prosecution is there if you do not, if you do continue to illegally upload, that's something that, you know, we believe that people will turn around.
Tom, do you think this is a battle that can be won, or will people always find a way around it with technology? I mean, the same arguments were used years ago about home taping and things like that.
Exactly. What home taping did was make music fans of a whole generation of kids, and certainly in my case went and spent a lot of money on CDs and now on downloads. I think that there'll always be that element of copying illegally going on. The important thing is we do, of course, need artists to get money in order to for the music industry to survive.
Well, on that you agree. Tom Dunmore, Matt Phillips, thank you both very much indeed for joining us.